He's back, or so they say. Michael Conlan defeated Jack Bateson via a round 4 TKO. Likely an ankle injury, actually, is what they're saying here. So, is the Irish sensation Mick Conlan back? Is Michael Conlan back and better than ever? Remember, he's never really recovered from that loss to Leigh Wood. What a fight that was, by the way. Leigh Wood and Michael Conlan. If you haven't watched a fight, yeah, there's a lot of fights I'll recommend. You know, Hagler Hearns, obviously. There's the Jose Zepeda Ivan Barancek brawl. There's any Roberto Duran fight, Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, Mike Tyson versus Michael Smith. There's a litany of fights I would recommend, but that's also one of them. I like recommending fights that are kind of not like the best, but also like they're not not, I don't want to say not the best. I like recommending fights that are not well known, but also that are incredible, like the Jose Zepeda Ivan Barancek fight. You likely won't think to tell somebody to watch that fight, but like there was like 7 or 9 knockdowns in that fight. It's basically a 9-round Hagler Hearns. Like the guys just went to absolute war. And Conlan versus Wood was one of those fights where it was like, wow, this is a really good, really close match. And then in the 12th round, Leigh Wood slumps Mick Conlan and puts him on his butt out of the ropes and basically dead to the world. So, you know, I think Michael Conlan has a special place in boxing history where he was, you know, given the bird to the referees after getting robbed at the Olympics. He won a bronze medal. Probably should have won gold that year. Very clearly beat a Russian that the AIBA, you know, or IBA right then handed him. But you know, he never truly recovered from the Wood fight, and we saw like him struggle against other fighters that he shouldn't have, and it really, like, there was a lot of hype behind Michael Conlan. This was like the height of, you know, Conor McGregor mania, where he was coming over to fight Floyd Mayweather, and McGregor walks him out to the ring at one point. Everybody started getting on the Michael Conlan train, not understanding what he was as a fighter and what his ceiling was, because in boxing you can really tell kind of what people's ceilings are, and his ceiling was never what everybody made it out to be. It wasn't a Callum Walsh or like a Abdullah Mason, where you know these guys are going to be really good, especially like Abdullah Mason. Like, we know Abdullah Mason's going to be phenomenal. Or Lomachenko back in that, we knew he was going to be phenomenal. Like, Michael Conlan was never going to be that guy. He might, you know, find his way into a world championship fight, but that's just like the nature of boxing. This though, his run, you know, getting TKO by Luis Lopez and Jordan Gill was very, very bad. You know, he managed to win a couple fights after the Leigh Wood knockout, but those two were like very bad. He tries to move up from 122 to 129, and he realizes very quickly, like, this weight ain't for me. I'm not built for that yet. So he took some time off. You know, he took nearly 2 years off, maybe a little around there. You know, he hadn't fought. You know, it's kind of like the whole, once Maidana knocked out Pacquiao, like, Pacquiao's coach made him take a whole year off of no fighting whatsoever before he even get back into the gym. And he took 2 years off, and he come back, and you know, he beat Asad Khan, and now Jack Bateson. What does that mean? Like, does that mean anything at all? Like, you know, Jack Bateson's not great. That's a fight that was booked because Conlan can win it. You know, there's a whole reason they booked this fight. As the international title, whatever, blah, it didn't matter. The alphabet soup belts are going away anyway. Y'all just don't realize it yet. Like, they're gone. Ring Magazine and TKO or Zuffa Boxing, whatever you want to call them, are taking it over. But you watch this fight and you're like, okay, you know, Michael Conlan got the win, great. But let's be critical of it for a second here and say, like, he hasn't fixed a lot of the problems that he had. He's actually looked a little worse. He's leading with his head forward. That's not good. That's how you get countered and knocked out in round 12 and fall out the ring. His punches are looping and long. They're slow. He's very counterable. You know, I mean, he did a good job like switching stances and stuff. I was happy to see that. But like, what we saw from Michael Conlan wasn't like high level boxing. It was kind of, you know, contender boxing. a title shot just to get somebody around or a fight in type performance. Like, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's go over to the web right here real quick. Michael Conlan, I got him pulled up and ready to go here. You go look at the featherweight rankings real quick on BoxRec, which aren't the most reliable, but you got Nick Ball, Rafael Espinoza, Stephen Fulton, Luis Neri, Figueroa, Leo, Carrington. I don't favor him to be any of these guys. I mean, I got to go down like TJ Doheny to see him, somebody I think he should fight and beat. I don't think he'll ever fight TJ Doheny. I think Nakano beats him. Hopsy Ramirez, maybe. Carrington, no. He ain't get beaten Shushu. He's not beating any of these top 7 guys for sure. David Picasso? Is David Picasso good? I don't remember him, actually. I remember this guy. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. Anyways, you got to go back far to see somebody like you think maybe he can beat. Guys, we have to come to grips. Michael Conlan was never going to be a championship fighter. And you wouldn't know that by listening to people talk about him. And it's funny because the hype did kind of die down on Michael Conlan, rightfully so. 3 losses, 3 TKOs, bad luck. He has a lot of problems, but he's really not championship material yet, or probably never will be because he's in his 30s now. Ariel Helwani called for a rematch with Leigh Wood. No, thank you. I mean, I get that fight was exciting, but from what I saw, Leigh Wood would maul this version of Michael Conlan. So no thanks, Ariel. Stick to MMA, bro. This is boxing we're talking about here, and it's not something you kind of want to do. But I am happy he got the win. I think Michael Conlan has a good future in boxing, sure, but I don't know that it's one. I said Callum Walsh. I don't think Callum Walsh is that great, but Abdullah Mason, we know Moses Atuma is great. You've got all these prospects coming up. Keyshawn Davis, we knew was great early, but he's more like a Nico Ali Walsh, where we knew okay, Ali Walsh kind of has a gimmick. Michael Conlan had his own gimmick too. Good win for him. I don't want to end on a negative note here. I want to make sure that he gets his due. Michael Conlan coming back after 2 years and going 2-0 now is great. He might be angling himself for a shot at a vacant title. Who's going to give him that, and how bad it's going to be? A Stephen Fulton would just maul him. Let's be real. Luis Neri mauls him. Nick Ball destroys him. Shushu, I mean, that'd be kind of a fight, I guess. Hopsy Ramirez, just run the buzzsaws through him. I'm looking at this, man. I'm looking at the rankings, and I just don't see anything. Maybe Ring Magazine can give me a better idea of what rankings we can do, because it just doesn't. I don't know, man. It's a bad place for him to go, honestly. 126. No, 122. Junior featherweight. Is it 122? No. 126. Let's see. Espinoza Ball, yeah, Nathaniel Collins, no. Nah, there's nobody. I'm sorry, Michael Conlan. You're out, bro. But hey, good win. I'm happy for you, and I can't wait to see you box again.